Hello, folks. Welcome to the Counting Sheep podcast. This is episode 62. My name is Ruth, and I will be your host. And welcome to my podcast, which is all about crocheting, knitting, some spinning, and what I get up to in and around my small sheep farm here in Vermont, where I live with my husband, said sheep, and some chickens, and my dog Cooper, and my cat Dora. If you're just joining me, thank you for coming here. I hope you find something that resonates with you. And then also for all of my longer term viewers, thank you for coming back. It has been kind of gray here in Vermont. I always kind of start off with a little weather report because I feel like I channel the Brits sometimes with the weather. You know, I have to tell you how the weather is here. It's been kind of a challenging winter so far, and we're not even halfway through it yet. We had a horrific ice storm last week here. So that caused some problems. I think it's just because the temperature is always constantly changing. When the fronts come in and out of the area. So so we end up having some ice and some sleet and some rain, which we'd rather have the snow, honestly. It's easier to handle the snow than it is the ice and the glare ice that causes so many problems. But anyway, I want to tell you where you can find me. On Ravelry, I am Rabbit Lady, and then on Instagram and Threads, I am Counting Sheep at Sunrise Hill. And then on Facebook, I'm Counting Sheep. So those are the places where you can find me on the social media front. What I'm wearing, this is the Mosaic cardi. I've shown this before. This is a Nomad Stitches pattern, and this is done in JC Rennie. And I'm just going to show it. I love showing it off. Yeah, it's just so pretty. And such a fun make, really. I love it when you can just use one color per row, you know, on a garment, because it speed-wise, it's good, and and then you can see the color developing, and it's really cool. All right, so yeah, Mosaic Cardi by Nomad Stitches. That's also Sandra Gutierrez on Ravelry. All right, I have a whole bunch of crochet to share today, some knitting, and then an acquisition in spinning. So I'm going to jump right in. Hopefully this won't run too long, but you know me, I can chat. So anyway, my first thing in crochet, I start with crochet, is the Stem and Petals shawl, which I haven't really shown off here in December because I hadn't worked on it all that much during Vlogmas and also during the holidays with other things that have been going on. But let me show you again. This is the Stem and Petal shawl, and this is a type of pattern that takes advantage of a yarn with long repeats. And that being said, I do have the yarn this is from Cozy Colorworks, and this is it in a ball, which is, you know, obviously it's hard to see the long color repeats in the ball, but let me show you where I'm at here in the shawl. I have made some progress on it. This one's going to be a slow and steady wins the race project. So, but yeah, so the idea being that the skein is the predominant color, obviously, for the skein is the green. But when you reach one of these long color repeats, you do a special stitch. So yeah, and then you're also increasing on one side. So you get an asymmetrical triangle shape to the shawl, which I think is quite lovely. And I'm enjoying how the pattern is coming out with those color blips. This calls for a size F hook, that's US, and I believe that's 3.75 millimeters for the rest of the world. Yeah, 3.75 millimeter. And I got this yarn from Cozy Colorworks at Rhinebeck, New York Sheep and Wool Festival, not 2025, but 2024. So it's been sitting in my stash for a short time. Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. This is a, yeah, fingering weight yarn. And the sign pooling, they call it. I'm calling it a long repeat, but they're calling it a sign pooling, which is the appropriate name. 1,100 yards to 8 ounces, and this is a superwash merino, so nice and soft. It'll look really nice, feel really nice to wear. But yeah, the idea is you use up most of this ball of yarn, and then you save a certain weight of yarn for the actual border. So yeah, I think it's going to be gorgeous. All right, so that was my first WIP, and it's a nice carry along project. As you can see, I have it in my little chicken bag here. Also, I got this actually at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool, and I believe I got this one last year, or last spring. Before you know it, New Hampshire Sheep and Wool will be coming around again. It's usually Mother's Day weekend in May. Yeah, so that's the first one. My second WIP is the Lola Cardigan, and I'm just going to reach down here and bring it up. If you joined me for Vlogmas, you know that I had a Yarny Advent from the Toad Hollow. These are two ladies in New Jersey that dye yarn, and I was opening up a little 20-gram skein of fingering weight yarn every day. They based their colors on the U.S. national parks, and they provided a little card to show which parks inspired them to dye the colorways. Good news on this is that I've split out the arms, and I'm working on the lower body now. This is a riot of color, but it is a fun riot of color. And I'm also working the little balls of color into the actual body as well. So here is, maybe I'll show you the back. It's less messier. Yeah, so this is, I split for the sleeves here, so you can see, let's see, one armhole here, and then of course the other one over here. And yeah, so now we're just working on this body part here, which in itself has texture, and I'm adding color to it. I was inspired by one picture that the designer put up of one of probably her prototype garment, which has worked the colors into the main body itself, and into the sleeves as well. In the pattern per se, when you look at it, she has just limited the color to the yoke and some on the where the ends of the sleeves, essentially. Yeah, so and this is the Lola Cardigan. Like I said, it's a crochet pattern by Lilla Bjorn. And yeah, I've had this pattern kicking around in my queue for a while, and have really been looking forward to making it. And I'm so glad that the Advent yarns really lended themselves well to this. So let me just show you. This is the main color. I purchased that in Arizona last year, 2024, when we were in Arizona. And this is from Dyelicious Yarns. So this is the variegated gray color for the main color. Yeah, 4 peaks. And that's the, you know, the main color I'm using now in the body, and then I'm just kind of interspersing the other colors within. So this is day number 1. This is all I have left of day number 1 because I've used it again. I've used it twice already in the cardigan. So yeah, so really fun to work that, and having pretty much a blast with this project. Let me just make sure I can put it all back in the box where it belongs so I don't get it mixed up with anything else. I am using a 3.5 millimeter hook for the body. For the actual color work, I was using just one size smaller, or actually one size larger, I believe. Let me just double check that. 3.5. Yeah, I was using a 3 millimeter hook for the color work, and then the 3.5 for the actual body of the sweater. So if that makes sense. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. Excuse me while I throw stuff on the floor. All right, so yeah, Lola cardigan, fun make. Stay tuned for more adventures with that. The last time we met, I was talking about going to see family after Christmas, and we did. And I was going to talk to my niece regarding a little cardigan for her little boy. She's a 2-year-old, and I had made this cardigan for him when he was a newborn, and she had wanted one to fit him now. And so I brought the stuff with me. I brought the yarn and the pattern with me just so we could convene on whether it's, you know, good size and, you know, the yarn and that sort of thing. And so this is the pattern I'm using. This is the textured rib cardigan, and this is by the designer Oxana Sorokin. I actually test crocheted this pattern for her. And I decided to do it in, you know, an easy care yarn because she is a new mom, and it's just easier to throw things in the washing machine. I get it, you know. So this is the yarn I'm using. This is from Maxim. Maxim, the yarn company, and they've been around forever. They sell all sorts of crafts, not just yarn for crocheters and knitters. They're a mail order company here in the US. And this is their Maxim rag yarn. And it is, let's see, 100% acrylic, I believe. Yeah, 100% acrylic. And it is machine washable and dryable. So using gentle, delicate, and low heat on the tumble dries. So yeah, this is as far as I've gotten. This is the front, actually. We decided on the, I believe it was the 2 to 3-year-old size. Yeah, he's in a 2-year-old right now. No, 3 to 4. Yeah, we decided on 3 to 4 so he could grow into it. So he's two now. So, and growing, of course, you know. But yeah, so this will last him a while. He'll be able to grow into this for quite some time. So I was happy that we came upon that agreement, and, you know, I can, you know, tool away at that at my leisure. So I do want to get it done before, you know, too long, you know, because kids grow, and you know, I'd hate for it to not fit, you know. All right, and then lastly, I wanted to show you something that I came across. As some of you may know, I work for the Woolly Thistle, which is an online yarn company out of Lebanon, New Hampshire, or West Lebanon, New Hampshire, which is just up the road from me. I mostly do, I'm in their fulfillment department. But from time to time, I go on socials for them, and mostly for crochet and kind of heightening the awareness for crochet with the woolly wools that they have there in the shop. And I just got done taping a segment for them, or recording a segment, taping it. I say taping, it really shows my age. But yeah, recording a segment for them regarding a Tunisian crochet vest that I found in one of the journals that they sell. And I thought I would share it with you because I know I was talking to you the last time about making a sweater out of this. And who knows, 2026 may be the year of Tunisian crochet for me. Simply because this designer is actually quite hot right now. She's going to be the featured designer on Plyful, which is Sandra Gutierrez Nomad Stitches, her website, and membership. You know, you buy a membership into the website, but she is actually the featured designer for January. So what that means is she has designed a Tunisian crochet sweater pattern, which is exclusive to Plyful members for 1 year. And you can get it now on Plyful. And also she will, Sandra interviews her on her website on Plyful. And she also will do another segment where the designer will actually teach a technique or whatever. So, you know, with Tunisian, there's always, I find, something to learn. There's so many different forms of, not forms of Tunisian, but the stitches are all kind of unique, and they have such interesting looks to them. So yeah, this might be the year of Tunisian. Stay tuned. But anyway, let me get back. I digress. This is called the Melrose vest. And this pattern comes out of the Journal of Scottish Yarns, issue 8. So this is their latest issue. It came out for fall, winter 2025. And the Melrose vest is done in Tunisian colorwork. So let me just show you the actual vest there. And initially, I didn't think this was even crochet when I first glanced at it, because when you're working in the shop, you kind of just, you're so busy that you just kind of get a glance of something and then you move on. This is just gorgeous, and this is all Tunisian crochet. You use one color per row. The pattern walks you right through it. And yeah, so those are the two side by side, but different colorways. There are 3 different colors to this vest. And he uses Tunisian hook. So let me show you that. I think I've shown this before. My hooks are from Leica. I bought a set of these a while back. And you can use any kind of crochet hook, not crochet hook, but a Tunisian crochet hook. So Tunisian crochet hooks come in a rigid form where it's just rigid the whole way through, or you can attach they come in the interchangeables, so you can attach an actual cord here. And the reason why you need that is because you're actually picking up stitches all the way across the row. So you have a whole bunch of stitches loaded onto this cord for the forward pass of the row. And then the second part of the row is the return pass, where you're actually yarning over and working off your stitches. So this is the tool to use for Tunisian. And let me just kind of show you the yarns I'm using. These are from, obviously from the Woolly Thistle. They are a vendor for West Yorkshire Spinners yarn. And they just came out with a new line of yarn, DK weight, which is what this vest is done in. And it's called West Yorkshire Spinners Morris DK. And it's in collaboration with the William Morris Society. Yeah, it's 100% British wool, blue-faced luster, Maxim, and blue-faced Kerry Hill. And the three colors I chose were Marigold, which is the main color for my vest. Bluebell is contrast color 2, actually, and then contrast color 1 is Saffron. So these three colors worked up. And I just want to show you how far I have gotten. This is the back that you start with. And this bottom ribbing piece here in the blue is Tunisian reverse stitch, and it ends up coming up very much like reverse stockinette in knitting. But this is crochet. And then this is the actual pattern of the vest. Sometimes I don't feel like I have enough hands, but here it is. And it's so gorgeous. Really, it works up so lovely. It almost looks like a woven fabric rather than a crocheted fabric. And that's what's fun about it. You know, like you actually have to do a double take and go, what is that? Yeah, and so I'll show you the back. So the back is just stripes, it turns into, because you're only using one color per row. And it's so cleverly done, really. I mean, it's so simply done that it's clever. This pattern results from the actual three different colors. Not only that, but also the types of stitches that you're using, which is Tunisian simple stitch and Tunisian slant stitch. And if you have a Tunisian crochet dictionary, stitch dictionary, you're ready to go with this. I find the stitch dictionaries are very helpful in just kind of walking you through how to execute one of those stitches. Yeah, so lots of fun with that. And yeah, so well worth looking into the whole Tunisian crochet thing. Craze. I don't want to call it a craze. I don't think it's a craze, but it's having its moment. Let's just say that. So, all right. So lots of crochet. That's all I have in the realm of crochet. So moving on to knitting, I have a finished object, thankfully. I like to come here with at least one finished object. I feel like I have a WIP parade going on all the time. But anyway, I did a Christmas Eve cast on, which I think is a first for me. I've tried to do it in past years and it just hasn't worked out. But this year I decided that while I was watching A Christmas Carol, I was going to cast something on. So, and I decided on a hat kit that I've had kind of kicking around, and it is called the Finnsport Fair Isle Hat by Boondoggle Farm. And this is what it looks like. And what's nice about this pattern is well, first of all, what drew me to it was the little heart motif. I kind of have a thing for hearts. But if you didn't want to do hearts, like say you want to make something for a guy, I know my husband wouldn't wear hearts. They also have two other different Fair Isle patterns in here. One I believe is just kind of with squares and crosses, and then the other one has like these big dots, circles. So yeah, so you can have a choice of 3 different patterns, and it actually says that here, 3 patterns. And this was a kit that came with 5 mini skeins of their sport weight yarn, their Finnsport weight yarn. So I, of course, went off piece and wanted this hat to kind of match with a set of gloves that I made, a set of crochet gloves that I made. So the color, this kind of yellowish color in here is that color, the color of the mittens. But the rest of the colors came from the kit. So I really kind of went off piece. First of all, with the ribbing, because these 2 colors were supposed to be switched. No biggie. I mean, it's ribbing. And then, of course, I introduced the yellow color straight off in the first pattern repeat. And then I tried to keep the theme of the yellow going up as much as I could. The top is all in the white color. Yeah, and this was a lot of fun. Let me just show you the inside. My floats inside. Everybody wants to see the floats, right? Yeah, not too bad, huh? Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I did this while I was traveling to see family and visiting and that sort of thing. So fits really well, just in time for the winter, and yeah, matches my gloves. So I'm a happy camper. So yeah, if you want to grab yourself a kit, this is www.boondoglefarm.com. Just put that up there. Hopefully this will, yep, it's focusing. Okay, so that is one finished object. Yay. And then finally, I wanted to show you my progress on my Nordic bloom vest. And if you're unfamiliar with this, this is the cover sweater, or the cover vest on the line of Nordic Knits magazine. This came out last year. And then here, of course, is a better picture. And this pattern is by Caitlin Hunter, and she has had several iterations of the same motif. I think she may have, well, don't quote me. She has a hat called the Nordic Bloom hat, and I believe she also has this. Well, the sweater's in here too. You can make this with long sleeves if you like. Here's the long sleeve version. And this is done, the actual vest itself is done up in Rama Voms, which is a, it's kind of a, I want to say it's a, well, it's, I think it's an Aran weight, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I had a brain fart there, excuse me. Yeah, it's an Aran weight yarn. I have similar yarns here. So this is actually from one of my sheep. This is from one of my Shetland males. He's a wether, which means he was neutered. And I had the actual mill spin this up as a worsted weight, but it is quite almost an Aran weight, which is heavier than a worsted weight. So this is the first yarn, and he was a Morit sheep, so this is kind of a chocolate brown. And then I did the color work alternating in these 2 colors from Palouse Yarn Company. This one is called Apricot Jam, and that's their information there, Palouse Yarn Company. So Apricot Jam, and then this one is Bottled Sunshine. So kind of similar, but shade off, but nicely variegated. And I managed to get my fronts done. So I want to show you those. Got the color work done. And of course there's a steek up the front. So this steek will be cut open eventually. Yeah. Very cool. I also think I'm going to be adding some length to the actual fronts, because I was kind of doing the math from the amount of rows that need to be done in the back. When I start the back is on the needle, but I haven't attached the yarn yet. So when I was doing the math on the row count, it seemed to me that it was a little bit off. So what I did was I put in a lifeline here, and this lifeline is right before all of this shoulder shaping that goes on. So if I have to, I can rip back to there, pick up the stitches, and add some length to it. Because I do think the armhole is a little bit shallow for me. And, it'll still get some ribbing as well, a finishing ribbing on that. So, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and just knit up the back and see where I'm at, kind of try it on, pin the shoulders together and see where I'm at with that. But other than that, it has been a really fun knit, and I'm enjoying that flower so much. It's so gorgeous. It really is. A lot of people have knit this pattern, so looking forward to my own version of it. So, all right, so that'll do it for knitting. The last thing I wanted to show you was an acquisition I got for spinning. This came across my radar well before Christmas, and I think I put in for pre-order on it or something, and it finally came. But this is called Listen to the Wool. And of course, the spindle grabbed me. But what's nice about this book is it goes into some history of the wool industry, and I'm talking way back, like before there was any mechanization or anything. It really walks you through how to prepare a fleece, how to wash it, if that's something that you endeavored to do. And also it kind of goes into the mechanics of drop spindling, also carding your wool, preparing the wool. She goes into preparing rolags, and also combing as well. So this really is well illustrated too. Lots of beautiful color pictures in it. Pictures always helpful, right? As we know from YouTube. Yeah, and she also even she goes into giving you some exercises just to kind of limber up, or to actually take a break and just kind of, stretch out after you've been spinning for a while, which I think is marvelous. A lot of books don't address those types of things, and then after a while you wonder why your shoulders are kind of creaky and they don't feel so good. So I love this picture so much with the sheep and her spinning. So yeah, a really good flip through type of book if you like, or something that you can also do a deep dive into. So that is Listen to the Wool, and it is by Josefina Waltin. That's the author. All right, I think that's going to do it for me on this go round. If you have something that is getting you excited, I would love to hear about it. So yeah, just leave me a comment down below, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. It all helps all of us prepare content that you like to see. And so until the next time, stay safe, keep crafting, and I will see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.